Yo, thank you for coming. Thank you for visiting. Thank you for hanging with us with Straight Game Podcast. I got my boy Mike Bibby to my left, and Emmy award-winning.
Talk about it.
First of all, my homie, he got an Emmy award. That thing is blinging over here. Eddie House. Eddie, talk to me, man.
Oh, no, he had to make sure he left here. He was here before y'all.
Oh.
Yeah, because you remember y'all told me, y'all said I need to bring it. So, I live on the other side of town.
No, listen, let me say, he's the first one here. He's never the first one here.
Never the
Ain't
first
that
one
a
here.
bitch?
He's never the first one. He's never the first one here. And so he had to make it. It was only right that he drove 45 minutes back to his house.
And I had my old lady meet me halfway.
Go get that and then be the last person.
You know what, Mike? Between you and I, don't tell Eddie this. Don't tell him. I thought he was lying.
About what, being here early?
No, having
an Emmy.
Having an Emmy, because he came here popping his collar last time.
I know he wasn't lying.
I'm solid. I don't be on no.
But an Emmy?
Yeah.
He's and ha-has.
Yeah.
But
I don't be
but
lying.
respect is due. Congratulations, bro. You got an
Thank
Emmy,
you.
and not many
Appreciate
people can say that.
You're right about that. Thank you. I appreciate it, man. Wasn't looking for it, asking for it, anything like that. It just came from the work from. I got to thank everybody, though. It was. Here's my acceptance speech right now.
You gonna thank?
I would like to.
They gave it to you, or they gave it to everybody on the thing?
They gave it to everybody on the thing. So
They gave each person their own?
Each person got their own. You see, my name is on here too. So boom, that's my name. I got it for being.
I got
it for being the analyst. Other people got it for being the producer, for being the main anchor or wwhatever. The moderator and things like that. So shout out to Chris Forsberg, to Kevin Miller, to Tom Giles, Amina Smith. So all of those, shout out to them. I couldn't have got this without them because they've helped me a lot in this transition of my new.
You've grown up a lot too, because before it would have been hanging from your neck. You know what I mean?
I thought about it. Look, I thought about it. I was like, it's a little too heavy.
You went and thanked everybody.
Can I hold it, man?
Yeah, you got it.
Let me hold it. Oh, this is a real deal.
Yeah, it's real.
I thought it was gonna be light.
Yeah, no, that's real.
Oh, yeah.
That's solid.
Yeah.
That's real. And
a real
you
deal.
got my name on it. That's a real trophy right there. It's a real Emmy, man.
Congrats, bro.
Thank you.
That's
Appreciate
dope.
it.
That's dope, man. So I think we got something that no other podcast got. To be honest with you, Emmy award-winning
World champion
podcast.
Emmy award winning.
Already.
You won the last championship too. You were part of that parade too, weren't you?
Yeah.
What was that parade like?
Oh, crazy. So look, I'll tell you this. So when we won it in 2008, the parade was 2 days later. So we win it all night. We at the arena. The next day, so we up all night. The next day we go to Ticket House. We up all night again. Then we show up to the parade and we all zombies. Like we all just like, man, we've been kicking it, partying. And I don't remember that parade. Keep it real. I don't remember it like, I remember showing up to the arena. I don't remember getting on the boat. I don't remember going through the city. And I don't remember getting back.
Do you think that's
We was faded.
That's what I'm saying. I was going to say it's going to be from tired or from drinking.
No, it was all of that. And so, look, on top of that, so Paul was in the parade last year, too. He was on the same duck boat as me.
He's wild, man.
Hey, so look.
He's funny as shit.
So look, I'm like, do you remember? He's like, I don't remember shit from that parade. I don't remember. I was like, I don't either. But going down and seeing the love that city has for the organization, of the support that they give, the sports teams, whether it be the Celtics, the Bruins, the Patriots, or the Red Sox, that city really galvanizes behind their sports team. They really
winning. Like all those teams are winning teams.
But I'm saying they always been like that. You know what I'm saying? Like they always.
I seen them in paper bags. I seen paper bags on their heads.
You have probably seen that because they didn't like the product was out there, but they was showing up with them paper bags. You feel what I'm saying?
There wasn't that many people.
And but to see how many people it was, and I got videos and stuff like that, and it was just amazing to experience and take it in. I was so happy for the guys because I know they've been knocking on the door. Everybody's saying, can they coexist? Can they get it done together? And to see them actually do it, Joe Mazzulla, Brad Stevens, Wick Grossman, Al Horford.
I'm glad Al got one. Al was a rookie when I got to Atlanta, and he was ahead of his time even back then. He was very mature. He would, he'd joke around and stuff. He got to the point where he started joking around more after he was with me for 3 years. But I mean, when he got there, he's mature beyond his years. I'm glad that he finally got it.
And Al's a winner.
Yeah.
Al's won everywhere he went back-to-back championships in Florida.
Yeah.
So, when he came over there as a rookie, he impacted winning right away. You know what I mean? And happy for him. I mean, all of those guys, Porzingis, when we were doing the post-game interviews, like just to see the pure joy on everybody's faces that, after all of the hard work and everything, the scrutiny that everybody has been having over them, even though they've been super successful, they still was like, well, y'all ain't get it done. And for them to get it done, it was just amazing.
There's a lot of people that played that can say they never won one.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, that's something that you could go to your grave with and be like, I'm an NBA champion.
Champion, that's right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
And an Emmy Award winner.
Quick question. You win the championship parade in the summer. Now, season has started. What's the mindset now? Because what happened already. So it's a new season. Now you guys aren't sneaking up on nobody. The X is on y'all back. Going into that first season after championship, what was your mindset first? And then what do you think they're thinking about?
Well, after we won it, first off, when we first got together, it was in 08. The X was on our back instantly because they put that together, the big three, and we had to every single night. And, we just had phenomenal leadership from top to bottom. I think that not only what Doc did and that coaching staff, we believed in them, but then it was more so kangaroo court where we were able to handle our own shit. You know what I mean? Like, Doc really was kind of hands off. Just don't get in the way of this because Ticket was on point. Ray was on point. All of our leaders led in different ways. So Ray was a quiet leader. You know what I mean? Ticket was your emotional, and then Paul was your franchise leader. Like, he'd been here forever. And so it was just different, that dynamic. And after we won it, we thought we was going to go back to back. And right there, Ticket got hurt in Utah going on a lob. And, nobody ever disclosed what actually happened. Like, they kept saying, like, it was his stomach at first. Then it was his knee. And they just kept putting different things out there. And I never went up to him and asked him because I know it was killing him not to be there. And we ended up losing to Orlando in the second round. And they went on to beat, I forget who I think Cleveland. And then they ended up going into the finals and losing to the Lakers. Mm-hmm. But we was expecting to go back to back. I mean, I think we won 62 games or 64 games that year. We won 66 the year before. So
in 2008, who took you guys to 7?
Is that a loaded question, Eddie?
That's a loaded question. Look, you got me sweating. Thinking about that shit. No, first round, we went 7. So we went 7 games with them. First round, we didn't win a game on the road. Atlanta.
Yeah.
So we didn't win a game on the road. So every game at home we won, and then
we beat the shit out of us at their place.
And then we would go to Atlanta, we would lose, and so we went 7 games with you guys, and we went 7 games with Cleveland, and it was the same shit. We did not win a game on the road, and that game 7 against Cleveland, that second round game, was probably the best 2-man performance that I've seen like ever. It was epic. Paul and LeBron backed up, and they was guarding each other. So it was different. From like, okay, he got 40 over here, and then I'm not guarding you, and then you got 40 over there. No, it was like, no, okay, give the ball, move out the way. You look, I looked up like in the fourth quarter, and like when it was happening, you don't realize what's happening until I looked up at the score. I was like, God damn, I was like 40 and 46. Damn. I was tripping like, man, they out here kicking, but because you really was seeing it happen. But yeah, we went 7 games, and first time we won a road game was Game 6 against Detroit to close it out.
Mike, explain this, bro. Like, y'all didn't win a road game. For me as a fan of the NBA, how is that possible? You guys, is it that much changing of energy, of game plan when you play somebody on the road?
Yeah, I mean, it is for sure because, I mean, the Hawks haven't been in the playoffs in 10 years. You know what I mean? For to go and play against, I mean, I think we're A seed playing against the number 1 seed. You're going to get fans. They brought a lot of excitement just making the playoffs. And coming and playing against them even made it better. You know what I mean? And when you win at home, it's oh shit, it's party time. You know what I mean? So, but going against them, me and Joe Johnson were the only two people that ever been in the playoffs. You know what I mean? So all those guys like Al, Marvin, Josh.
Was Jamal there? Flip?
Jamal wasn't there yet. Flip was there.
Flip was tough.
Zaza, I mean, you got all these guys that never played. I mean, I don't know. I can't remember if Flip did or not, but a lot of these guys never played in the playoffs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So for even to hold our own like that was a big stepping stone for these guys. But I mean, they beat the shit out of us in Boston. It was like a 30
every time.
point every time.
But that's the question. Why?
I mean, just
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know if it's lack of just being there and being in the moment, or we never been here before. We don't know what to expect.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I mean, like I said before, you go there the year before and they got bags on their heads, and you come back the next year and they're number one team in the East. You know what I mean? So it's kind of hard to put those two things together. But we didn't expect nothing else. I mean, like people ever thought, oh, they're gonna blow them out. It's gonna be 4-0 sweep. We went back home. We held our own.
Did y'all overlook them?
Nah,
at the beginning?
Nah, that's the one thing about that team is we never overlooked any opponent that we played against. We respected all of them. Respectfully, we gonna kick your ass. That's how we felt.
See, you could look on their face and knew like they like, okay, we're gonna turn on. Like you could look.
We had guys that's been in moments. That's
why. There was never no panic on their face.
Got you.
You know what I mean?
Our leaders had been in conference finals before. You know, Tick had been there. Ray had been there with Milwaukee, and Paul had been there one time with Boston as well.
All right. This season, it's on. The season is right around the corner. Media day is what? 3-4 weeks away.
It's Celtics against. We got to figure out who the other team's gonna be.
Well, you know he gonna say Celtics. I'm not
looking at me.
I'm not rolling with the Celtics.
Okay.
No, that's cool. Just like you wasn't wrong with USA winning gold, but you was wrong.
That's not true. I will admit to this. Somebody fact checked us about Texas being bigger than all of
No, they
Europe.
fact checked you.
They fact checked me.
Trying to throw us in there.
I forget the at whoever it was. You was right. And that's on me.
Ain't nobody. That's where people's problem is. We're trying to prove a point, and you talk about this square, many square miles. Man, get the hell out of here, man. You ain't no square miles back when you was back in school.
Appreciate that, man.
His geography was on point.
Man,
Yours was off.
say, man. I have no problem admitting when I make a mistake. But the point I was saying was the central part of Europe where the countries that I played in, Texas is, it doesn't matter because I'm going to get fact-checked again. But right now, the season is about to start. You got Celtics and who else in the finals?
You know who I'm really rolling like with OKC, man. I really like them. I like how they did what they did last year. I think they're only going to have more confidence. I think they believe in their coach. And to me, that's the main thing is when your star players believe in what your coach is doing and what he's putting out there, and then they can hold everybody else accountable. When you don't believe in your coach and it starts being that, Mike, you've been on teams like this before. You be like, the hell is this dude talking about, man? And then, we all talking in the locker room like, man, dude don't know what he doing, man.
I think it has something to do with roles, too. I think they know SGA is their guy. Mm-hmm. And, everybody else falls in the line, like kind of like how when we were in Sacramento to where everybody knew Webb was the main guy. And then some nights it's going to be other guys, some nights it's going to be other guys. But, you got the guys that cover the basket. You got Dort that's playing defense. He out there. He don't care if he gets shots. His role is to play defense. I think they know their roles, and that's what makes them so good. And there's no egos on the team to where you could tell them, tell those guys really like each other. And, I mean, that goes a long way.
Remember the post-conference, the post-game interviews, they would have the whole team come together. Mm-hmm. Those are small victories in trying to build a championship culture. When everybody messes with somebody, I'm not mad at your success. You're not mad at my success, and we not mad at his success. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you happy to see your brother who put in that work just like you do. As long as you see him putting in that work, you like, man, I'm happy to see him get out there and get money.
Right. Who you got, Mike?
I don't know. I mean, of course, I think the Boston's going to do it again. I mean, I think they're just so stacked. Look out for the Sacramento Kings.
I was going to ask you about that.
What you mean to do what?
To be in the finals?
No, I didn't say that. I'm not pushing that yet.
My bad, man. My bad.
I'm just saying, look out for them with the addition of DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah, that's true.
it's going to put – the only thing I'm scared about for that process is somebody has to be asked out.
So who?
I think it's going to be Keegan. It got to be. Because, I mean, I don't know if it's going to stop his development or what. I mean, because now he's going to have to play a whole different role. You got Fox, you got Sabonis, you got Monk, and you got DeRozan.
Do you think that when you're saying Keegan, because I like his game.
I like his game too.
And I like what he brings to the table. He's a guy that can stretch the floor, big rebounds and stuff like that. But he can really
too.
Yeah, plays, that's what I'm saying. Rebound, but then he also that being able to stretch the floor and knock that down.
At that position.
It would be hard for me, I would think that it would be hard for him to be the dude that's asked out. Maybe Malik, as good as Malik is.
You can't.
Maybe Malik is the guy.
He's the
I
Malik.
agree with that.
Malik is the guy that comes off the bench. Malik is the Bobby Jackson. Like you cannot have Bobby Jackson
No, you can't.
on our team. You cannot have that. Malik, they were talking about all year, maybe we should start Malik. You can't start Malik because when things are going bad and not going good at the start of the game, he's the one that comes
He's
off the
firepower.
bench.
Yeah.
He brings the energy and he'll
Yeah.
get you dunks. He's going to get the threes and he gets the shots up just like Bobby. You can't, like Keegan's role is going to have to, can he take that role of go stand in the corner? And if these four guys don't shoot it, it might come around you. Can he adapt to that?
I see what you're saying with that. And sometimes that is hard for guys. That's a hard pill for somebody to swallow if you haven't been in that situation. So with all that being said, do you agree with DeMar DeRozan where he said the Sacramento Kings will be in the Western Conference Finals? Because he said that.
I think they have a chance that they can make the Western Conference Finals.
I think everybody got a chance.
I don't know if they can. I don't know. I'm not. No.
If I'm being honest. Come on, man.
He said, everybody don't got a chance.
Come on, man. Right now, the record is 0-0, man, so everybody got a chance.
You telling me that the San Antonio Spurs got a chance to make it to the Western Conference Finals? Not a snow. No, don't do that. I'm saying realistically.
Well, I was being sarcastic because I think the West is loaded. I think that I'm a big fan of DeMar as a player, as a person, everything he is about. But he takes a lot of twos, and
What's wrong with that?
Well, he takes a lot of contested twos, similar to Jalen, similar to Jason as well.
I got a question for you, because I know you talking analytics right now, right? What is wrong with taking a contested two that go in, as opposed to taking a wide open three that misses?
But that's his. That's his
his
specialty.
game. Right.
And I think he's really good at it.
No, he's great at that.
Great, excellent, elite. I think he takes those shots can be taken at any point in the shot clock. I don't agree with those shots being taken early in the shot clock because now Sabonis has to run down court, takes that bop, and he misses. And Big Fella has to run the opposite direction.
Well, you got to get in shape.
Well, yeah, but and it slows down the Ferrari that we have, that you guys
De'Aaron
have,
Fox.
and De'Aaron Fox. It slows that Ferrari down.
I don't think that's how that's going to happen.
All right, I could be wrong.
This is how I feel like Sac is going to play now, thinking about it. DeMar will get it in transition and be able to go to work like that. But the ball's going to – I mean, there's no way that you don't have the ball in De'Aaron Fox's hands 90% of the time to initiate the offense, to create for himself or to create for others. He has to be the guy
90%.
Everything goes – it has to be
90%.
Start off. I'm talking about the start off. Not 90% of the shots. But the start off got to be with him.
You know what?
He's the best playmaker.
You know what's so good about Boston? Boston, to my point earlier, they know their role, and we don't know if Sacramento will buy into their role, but Boston do. Mm-hmm. And so that's what I'm really excited. You know, I hate talking about Boston with you here because you start popping your collar and all that type of stuff.
Why though?
To your point, I do think Boston will come out of the East. I don't know.
Phoenix and Sacramento in the West.
That's who you say in the Western Conference?
Phoenix and Sacramento.
Phoenix?
Phoenix.
They got no bench, though.
They got to work on something.
they got to get better.
They got Tyus Jones. They got Tyus Jones, right?
Tyus Jones, big time.
Tough.
Yeah.
But he's a starter.
I think that's going to
He's
help
a starter.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely going to
help.
And
that is, with Tyus being the one and Book going back to getting buckets without having to distribute is tough.
Yeah.
I'm a big Book fan, big KD, Bradley
be
Beal.
small.
Yeah.
That's the only thing about them. If you got Tyus, I know KD is 7-footer, but Bill gonna be smaller. You giving
Small as a two?
I'm talking about just in general. Everybody out there. I mean, if you look at the size of the NBA now, like they're going to be a smaller team compared to everybody that they play.
It doesn't matter if you ain't.
They got to be able to rebound.
But you're
That's what I'm talking
not
about.
backing down nobody. You're not playing in that role.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about rebound the glass. Because if you get pounded on the glass, I don't care how many you just not getting as many opportunities as somebody else. If they getting 15 offensive rebounds and you giving up 15 offensive rebounds a night, some nights 23 offensive rebounds, you can't win those games.
Remember, rebounds effort. All you gotta do, it's like old school. You check a guy running full speed a few times,
right.
Hit him with that a few times, he gonna start running full speed.
But let me ask you this: when you watch today's NBA game, how many times do you just look at everybody?
It don't
look.
Yeah.
Nobody
that's
really
why
makes
USA
contact.
keep losing, being close to losing in.
Man, are you talking about USA?
Okay, all right, never mind. All right, I ain't gonna say nothing else about. All right.
You can't win that. That's
It's over with. All right, but
over with.
I want to give you your props too about the West. I do think OKC will come out the West this year. I love Dallas, obviously. I think
they're coming out the West like to play in the finals. You think? Okay.
Yeah, I don't think Dallas defense is good enough. I think they get hit on every single pick and roll screen, and they're trailing the play every time it's a pick and roll. Minnesota, big fella, is in the drop way too much, but they could be good though. They could be good with the right matchups in the playoffs. In the season, they're gonna do well because, as you guys know, y'all are the vets in the NBA. Y'all really don't. Correct me if I'm wrong. Y'all not really going as hard.
Even last year, I think.
Yeah, we hooping every game. Mike, did you
matchups-
not go hard in the regular
Wait,
season?
hold on. What he said? What he said? What he
It
said?
is different, though.
He said in the regular season you ain't really going that hard when you hooping. What? Every
So-
single night you get your head toe off playing
What does
around.
it mean when people say there's different seasons? Are y'all partying, or not partying, but kicking it like y'all would in the playoffs as y'all are doing in the regular season?
Some do.
But most of them don't.
No,
So it's different, though. That's something. That's my point. Maybe that was the wrong analogy or the wrong words to say, but it is different, right?
I know. I mean, there's more on the line.
I would say more on the line and then the prep. That's the difference. The
prep,
So
okay.
if you talk about preseason, regular season, postseason, right? Regular season, how can I prep like I could for another team when we playing them tomorrow? We got another team
But
tonight.
it's different now because there's only two teams that don't make the playoffs. Back then it was you got to play to get your position. Only
Right, to
time,
get the
remember,
eighth- yeah.
only time we sat out is when you had you couldn't go up or down.
Right.
Or if you wanted to move on purpose. That's the only time you said that. I missed 2 games. I could play fucking 82 games like 12 years, but 2 games in Sacramento, we already got our spot.
No need to
Take
play.
2 games off. Atlanta, 2 games off.
So it's easier now because so many people make the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, like, you
so
don't-
technically I'm right.
Regular season don't mean nothing.
What do you mean by you right?
Technically I'm right because he's saying the regular season don't mean nothing. He just said that.
No, it does though because I'll say this.
There's not enough put in it anymore.
I know what you're saying. I know where you're coming from with that because it seems like everybody gets in, right? So it's that's the part that you're saying.
Right.
But it does mean something because it's a difference from having a number 1 seed and having a game 7 on your home court as opposed to having game 7 somewhere else. You know what I mean?
Well, what's the number 1 seed if Oklahoma was number 1 seed and they lost in the first round?
They wasn't ready. That's all I'm saying. But like if you have a team that's ready, like for example, I'll give you Boston, and we didn't have to go to no game 7s last year. But before 2 years ago, we had to have a game 7, and it was against Milwaukee, right? And have it on the home court. Fan there, you feel comfortable, you sleep in your own bed, you eat your regular pregame meal. It's not a hotel meal with bullshit food that you got to deal with, not knowing if they're going to food poison you or not. You know what I mean? Those type of factors. That's important. You play for it. That's the reason why you play the regular season, so you can afford to have like, okay, and also to your point about where the playing is happening, it gives you an extra week of rest. So if you make that first
But they're getting rest anyway. They taking rest throughout the season.
No, I get that, but this is this age of basketball.
Yeah,
so I'm just saying the way that it's going, it's different from how we came up, and how we play,
for
right?
sure, sure.
But I'm saying that's what you play for the regular season. So you could get that extra week. You could get that extra, whatever nagging injuries. We all got something going on at the end of the season.
Yeah. So MVP. Who you guys
This
got?
year?
Yeah. Who you got, Mike?
I'll go to Eddie first time. I got to think about that, man.
That's a tough one right there. That's a real tough one because I think SGA.
Yeah.
I think SGA or, I would probably go with SGA because I know he's going to be averaging somewhere close to 28, 29, 30. And if he puts his team in the position that he did last year, being the number 1 seed, I think
they can't do it to him again.
That you have
there was a good chance he could have got it this past
hell
season.
yeah, he could have got it this past season.
So I say him too.
I want to say him as well, but my man is going to average all these triple-doubles. Jokic, he going to get all these crazy numbers.
They can't give it to him 4 straight years. Like it seemed like it'd be 4 straight years.
Or even Luka. Luka's going to average stupid numbers.
But the thing about Luka does average dumb, stupid, ridiculous, crazy numbers, right? But the thing about Luka when I break everything down is that the team is never great in the regular season.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, you know, middle of the road, 4th seed, 5th seed, you know, sometimes 3rd seed or whatever. But also his usage rate. So it's the way you can get numbers, okay? So if you got the ball in your hand forever and you really going to score every single time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then when you either score and you don't have something, you pass it to somebody, they make a shot, you get a set. Okay, you got the ball. I don't think that he could play off the ball, right, successfully for that team, okay? And then number 2 is he has to get in better shape, and then he has to pick up his effort on the defensive. And I thought he did an okay job doing that in the finals. He had spurts and where you say, oh, shit, look, he actually playing defense out there. So he showed me that. He just has to compound on that and expand on that mentality. Because if you're the leader, you got to do it on both ends to me. That just has to happen. You know what I mean? SGA is like one of the tops in steals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I want to talk to Mike about that because Mike was a prolific scorer. And so as a coach, you want to reserve his energy to get buckets, right, and to make the right plays.
My thing out there was never to they ain't going to put me on I'm not a defensive stopper.
Right.
As much as I would love to be, my thing was to, get the offense going. We had Doug Christie.
Yeah.
We had Bobby Jackson.
Yeah.
Why didn't he put me on them?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, do a guy not take off. I think I was better off the ball defense than on the ball defense anyway. You know what I mean? So being in the situation, guarding somebody, being in the passing lane. Because even remember we used to play Miami all the time. Remember I used to set the fucking free throw line against y'all and just muck shit up and just make sure I'm stand right here and just make them pass it to these guys.
Right.
When I used to guard Mario all the time.
And then you could close out.
Yeah, and close out and just see if he's going to be the guy that could score 20, 30 points instead of leaving these guys playing one-on-one against these superstars.
Is it more difficult now to rest on the floor if you're not that defensive inclined?
Well, I'll say this. That's a great question. I'm going to get to that, but I want to, on what he was just saying about, but at the same time, Mike, you know your strengths and you know your weaknesses. We all do as players, right? One thing you did, though, you competed. You know what I'm saying? It's a difference between,
that's a good point.
I can't play defense and Olay as opposed to being like, fuck, I'm trying. I'm doing everything I can to try to give resistance.
Right.
And, people, your teammates respect that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that's where the kind of the difference is to where at times we seen Luka Olay it. You know what I mean? And just like not play any defense at all. And you're like, but then I see him play defense. You're like, well, that's any.
Right.
We need that all the time.
Right.
See, but if you can't get it all the time because he has to put
That's
that
a good
effort
point.
on offense.
Yep.
But you got Kyrie Irving, so he doesn't have to be the main cog. He could be the main cog, but he doesn't have to be the end all be all.
See, well, that's how they got there. Kyrie played most off the ball most of the time. So now as a coach, you got your superstar guy. He's averaging what, fucking 28, 13, and 12,
9 and some shit like that. Yeah.
But I can't be like, I need more on defense to take away from your offense.
I just need effort, though.
Yeah, but I mean, sometimes too much effort going to take away from the other shit he's doing, the other remarkable shit he's doing.
He is doing, but you got to get in better shape then. Because if that's taking energy from you and your team relies on you, hey, you know how they say that's why you get paid the big bucks. You know what I'm saying?
I want to give my coaching lens. Pick and roll is what, 85% of the game? A little bit more, a little bit less. Is that pretty
somewhere
accurate?
right around there.
And so if your bigs are not even at the level, but in a drop, You're not giving no support to your point guard.
That's how they play it now, right? Everything's a drop.
Not everybody.
Not everybody.
They switching now. So that's why the Celtics were so successful, because they were able to switch. You know what I mean? Even Drew Holiday being the point guard. If you ever watch Drew Holiday,
competes, though.
He never gets screened on a high pick and roll. I don't know. I mean, his legs are big. He gets over the screen. So now, if he could fight over the screen, that was a wasted action, right? But if he gets caught, he can switch on the big and get rolled and hold him up and hold his own to where, all right, I hold him until the ball comes in, hold him, and then guys could dig down and they could rotate out after that.
And so let's break that down. I'm watching Drew. Obviously, we all watch Drew. When a screen comes, he engages. And he's adamant about not opening up his shoulder. But you compare him to 90% of the other point guards. When a screen comes, they look and they open their shoulder and turn. And now the offensive guy, they just lock them in that chicken wing. Or even if you don't look, when you hear the call, you should be engaging the ball like Drew does.
See, but that's not taught.
He's been taught the right way.
Yeah.
I don't even know if you don't know if he's been taught the right way. He just might have that
instinct.
That dog.
And get it. But like, if you don't teach these kids from as they're younger, they are not gonna know when they get to that next level. Even in the NBA, I went to a training camp one time, and I'm not gonna say team, but I went to a training camp, just sitting there in the training camp, and we were running shit that my high school team was doing, and I was like Xing out, and I said, and they were messing them up, and I was like, I went to the coach, I said, they don't know how to do this. He's like, nope. I said, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
He was like, no one teaches it to him.
Yep.
So, you know what I mean?
Those are pros.
And
Yeah.
y'all got two of them at the point. Derek and Drew going engage and compete, fight over.
We got three of them.
Who?
Jaylen Brown.
Jaylen Brown. And he's big.
You know, Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say Jason, but my bad.
No, Jason competes. Jason is not a better defender than, on-ball defender than Jaylen, but he is 6'10", long arms, and he competes.
He's a legit 16?
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
Facts. He's 6'10". And so that is crazy
tough,
that you see what he could do. I mean, that's okay, amazing at 6'10", what he could do. But I think that as far as that's the thing that for me with Luka, I'm going back to Luka, that he has to, and it's not every single time because you can hide him defensively, you know. But when it comes to that time and you're engaged, just a little bit more competitiveness. You know what I mean? Just a little bit more fight on that end. It shouldn't take that much away from what you do on the offensive end, especially when you could sometimes be like, Kyrie, go do your thing, man. I could take a couple minutes here.
Staying on the East, I think the biggest competitor to Boston could be Philly, for one, if Joel stays in shape. But Paul George, Joel Embiid, Tyrese Maxey, that's tough.
It's tough.
Tough.
That is. I would say this. I will agree with you. They got to stay healthy. Both of those guys have injury history. But Philadelphia has to clearly say this is Tyrese Maxey's team. Bottom line, they got to say it's your squad.
But can they?
They got to.
Yeah,
that's the only way they're gonna win.
I say he's their guy now.
Yeah.
Like if you don't emphasize that at the beginning of the season, you got Paul George and you got Embiid. It's gonna say during the game. If you don't sit there and nip that shit in the bud, they gonna take over. Maxey's younger than those two guys, and they've been doing it longer. So now it's like, young fella, you gotta sit and wait.
So how would that conversation go? If
Put all three of them at the same time.
Y'all experiences in the league and being the superstar, being the role player, how does that conversation go where everybody can receive?
Those are three superstars. You got to get all three of them in the room and come to a circumstance where it's like, hey, he's the number one option. Those two guys aren't going to like that. It just depends what kind of attitude and ego they have to where, okay, I'm cool with that, or hell no.
Have you ever experienced that?
I don't think the only time I ever played with three superstars like that was in Miami. It was sometimes two. It was never three, and it was not. I mean, those guys knew the roles of the pecking order.
They knew it because of Coach Spo, or internally they kind of figured it out?
Probably internally. I think D. Wade and LeBron were both one.
Right.
You know what I mean? And they kind of, Bosh knew that he was, kind of the guy after that, and I think they was okay with that, and it worked out. But as far as going to, this team hasn't really won anything, but being those two guys and beating George and being superstars and being in situations like that and having giving the keys to the car to the younger guy.
It's tough.
You don't know how those guys. I don't know George. I don't know Embiid. I don't know how they'd take it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's how it's going to all count on that. If they could count, and I'll play a second row, I'll play a third row, then we'll see if it works. Because if they don't, it's going to be a shit show.
The reason why I think that it could work there, but they have to definitely say, Maxey, this is your show, right? Because they all three do three different things. The way Maxey plays, he's not going to step on PG toes. The way PG plays, not going to step on any one of those toes. And the way Embiid plays, not going to step on those guys' toes.
But Embiid wants the ball at the high post, and he wants to ISO, and he wants to.
Yeah. So look, how you could work that out is, okay, we're gonna give you so many touches at that to do that. But when it's not like that, go right to your dribble handoff. It's gonna be a drop cup. Now you got Maxey could come off that.
See, but is he okay with?
You got to show him film. So what you got to do, this is what I would do if I was running that organization. I would sit down and get the clips of, like, look how successful we are with Maxey running the show because they play faster. He's willing to give up the ball. You know what I'm saying? He plays defense on the other end. And so I would show clips of that and be like, look, just run with him. Like, run with him. He going to get you.
You got to understand, he's a superstar. He ain't one of the guys that, like, shit, he's going to make you better. He probably think, I make this team better with my ISOs and do all that shit.
He probably will lean on that my leg was hurt, my knee was hurt last year in the playoffs. But Maxey was their best player in the playoffs last year.
Yeah.
By far.
Sure.
I don't think Joel can run with Maxey.
Well, he could be the trail. That'll be perfect because then he could trail in. You got everybody else running. He could be the trail guy. Then he could get it up top if we don't have nothing. Now he could go into his ISO. I don't have my ISO game. Go into your bag. Don't have nothing. Go right to a dribble handoff. You got Paul George.
He don't want the ball there. He want the ball on the elbow.
Free throw line, elbow. Yeah, that's what I'm
block.
And all three of them are ISO guys. And so I'm hopeful they put it together. I know Nick Nurse and his coaching staff are really, really good. So Nick is going to put the things together to get that ball moving from side to side for sure. But I think they do step on each other's toes, their style of play. I think Maxey is elite in transition. Big body, maneuvering, weaving in, ISOs. He's coming off looking to shoot. Maxey isn't yet a really good passer. But in pick and roll, he's going to drop them big old shoulders and take you on a ride for and one. And Paul is Paul. Paul got all the wiggle. He does everything. Paul is similar to Jason Tatum in his style of play and how he plays, the shots he take, all that. And he's elite at it. But it's all one-on-one.
But the main thing is it's going to turn out on how Embiid and George take that role.
Right.
Gotcha.
If they don't take that role, then it's gonna be shitty. We're almost out of here. Okay, I got one more question for. I know we've talked about this. We weren't sure if we were gonna bring it up or not. They said you were a mix of Stephon Marbury and Charles Barkley. Yes,
And Charles Barkley.
That's what they said.
So for the viewer that said that, can we get a square
side by side?
No, not good. I want to just get his comment to that
Hey,
viewer.
man,
Me. I mean, you can look at all the comments. I don't give a fuck what anybody say. They can say whatever they want about me. People say whatever. But I looked at it. I thought it was funny. But for that viewer that said that's sitting home on his ass, hating. Do the camera in close up on him, please. Let him say something to that viewer, please.
You know what? I was at an event a couple of days ago, and I'm getting my parking pass validated. And
Ty, don't
tell us that somebody said you look like.
yes, dog. Somebody said that. Dog. She said, "You know who you look like? A young Charles Barkley."
Hey, shout out to that guy that made that comment because obviously
Say, man.
it's something to it.
I was going to tell you to kind of shut his ass up. Ty, you can't come with validation of his story.
Say, man, you know what? That's not the first time I've heard it.
But they said
And,
a mix of Marbury and Barkley.
Marbury, I
They had a
don't.
baby.
I've never heard that one before, but I have heard the Charles Barkley. I guess in my old age, I'm picking up some weight. I need to get back in the gym, man, because I'm out. You know what? Charles is dope, man. I take it. It could be a whole lot worse. So
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
What would be worse?
Say
That nigga is 70 years old. You getting compared to?
Damn.
no, a young Charles Barkley.
Okay, put that out. Okay, the
A young Charles Barkley. But all in all, man,
Philadelphia
like
Barkley?
Huh?
Philadelphia Barkley?
nah, with the mustache and the
Auburn
taco.
Barkley.
That boy said Auburn Barkley. Come on, Red, what you doing, dog? Red, what you doing?
It don't get no younger than Auburn.
Say, y'all two be going at each other now. We supposed to be like that, bro.
That we are.
Say,
But you said a young Charles Barkley. That's the youngest.
I said Philly. He like, nah. You say, okay, the Auburn one is?
but anyway, yo, I absolutely love these episodes because we giving our honest opinion about the league, and we got some validation into what we doing, what we talking about. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for subscribing. Please click that button. Until next time.
Gang.